Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Minotaur, but you can call me Mino. And if you're here from my gaming channel, hi, welcome everyone. Glad to see you over here. And if you're new here, well, so am I. So this is my first YouTube channel. No, sorry, first YouTube video. And I'm really excited about this, but I'm kind of nervous. I have thought for weeks what kind of flow do I want to have with this channel and this video and things like that, and have come to realize that as much of a planner as I am in most aspects of my life, there's just some things that I have to just kind of wing it. And that's what I'm going to do with this video and this channel for now until I kind of build up some sort of formula or pattern or routine or whatever you want to call it. I'm just not there yet. We're gonna wing it. Hi, everyone, welcome. So you're like, why is this girl rambling? Who is this girl? Well, I'm Minotaur's or Mino. I prefer Mino. It's just easier to say. Um, and I absolutely love makeup and music. Both are so important in my life. My happiest moments of my day is sitting down and doing makeup, and I've been a huge music fanatic since I was a little kid. And I want to combine both love for makeup and music and create a channel with those two subjects. And I also felt like, on my gaming channel, makeup and music didn't really fit in over there. So I figured let's just create a new channel, let's start fresh and see where things go. Now, if you are into gaming and you want to talk about all things gaming and whatnot, you can go check me out on Twitch. I stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Got a new stream schedule going, so I'm trying to remember it. But Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, roughly starting between 8 and 9 p.m. Central. Play mostly horror games and Final Fantasy 14, but I am a variety streamer and we do switch it up every now and then. But that's not what this channel's about. It's not about my Twitch. It's just, if you want to hang out with me, you can. You can hang out with me over there. And if you want to see my gaming YouTube channel, and also hang out with me over there, all that's going to be linked down below. The point of this channel, though, so I had this idea about a year ago, and I'm finally getting around to acting on this idea. And I want to talk about my favorite bands and recreate their album covers on my face. And that could come in different forms. It could be some really crazy, eccentric kind of look, and others might be just taking the color scheme from that album and incorporating it into more everyday kind of makeup look. And then along with that, I will be sprinkling in some makeup challenges and unboxing videos and stuff like that. So that's kind of what you can expect on this channel. The idea that I'm hoping will work for me is that I will upload a video every Friday. We'll see how that works. This is new to me, new to you guys, and I appreciate you all being here for the beginning of this journey, and hopefully, I don't know, this takes off and things kind of pick up and people enjoy it and we all have fun with it and we can discuss makeup and we can discuss music, and I just want to connect with people who love both. That's really what it is. I figured for starters with this video, I wanted to do a Minotaur look because my name is Minotaurs. And as I'm doing this look, I want to talk to you guys about how I came up with my name, Minotaurs, and the styles of music that I'm into, and just a little bit about myself. And we'll just kind of use this video as a get to know me kind of thing. And I want to take this opportunity to have you guys post your favorite styles of music, and maybe if you have a cool gamer tag, how did you come up with it? And just kind of talk all things makeup and music down in the comments, and we can get to know each other and hopefully develop a really beautiful friendship in my labyrinth of sorts. Let's get started. First of all, I need to take off my makeup, which is basically falling off anyways because your girl been working all day and did a lot of chores today, and my makeup holds up usually pretty well, but I did work up a little bit of a sweat doing chores. Let's start with this red lipstick. I do not know of a Minotaur that has red lips. I had a feeling it was going to smear all over my face. Okay. Well, let's just kind of get in there. I purposely wore simplistic makeup today with the intention of filming this video. A long time coming. I was hoping to film this back in January, and life got really busy. And I mean, I'm extremely thankful for this, but completely blindsided that my Twitch was hella popping off throughout the month of January. And, you know, when it comes to content creation, there's highs and lows. And I'm hoping to still channel the good energy and vibes that I had in January, knowing that there are going to be some slow times when it comes to content creation, because that's just the name of the game. And I've been streaming consistently for about 4 years on Twitch, but technically started in 2016. And I've been on YouTube off and on for, gosh, I don't even know now, probably going on 10 years. I've been on various YouTube channels with friends, and gosh, there's some cringe stuff floating around the internet on old channels that I created where, you know, I don't know if you guys remember for Vans Warped Tour, they would do like a journalist inside the pit reporter kind of thing. Y'all remember that? Yeah, there's a video of me somewhere out there.
I want to be this year's 2013 Vans Warped Tour pit reporter because I always know the inside scoop when it comes to music, whether it be a band releasing new albums, announcing tour dates, or if they're switching out band members, breaking up, or even getting back together. I also have experience working with bands. I have interviewed bands such as Jamie's Elsewhere, and I'm also in Crown the Empire's most recent music video, The Fallout. Having this amazing opportunity will not only help me become closer to being a music journalist, but I will also have the opportunity to help fans have a more one-on-one connection with the bands and have a better idea of what it's like behind the scenes of Vans Warped Tour. Every day of this tour will be the best day. See you in the pit.
Trying to apply for that. So I've been trying to create YouTube videos and stuff off and on, but I never stuck with it until I started streaming consistently. With the exception of I had a channel with my friend, Amaranthi Productions, which is still active. I'm just not a part of it anymore. Mostly because my friend moved out of state and it got really difficult to kind of keep up with it. But and I'm pretty sure the channel is still thriving. I'm pretty sure my friend's still uploading over there. I could be wrong. I talk to my friend so much and I don't even know this. Whatever. Beside the point. Besides the point. But that channel was all reactions on like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. And my friend and I would get invited to go to pre-screenings of movies, and so we got to see stuff before the rest of the world. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We did that for a good two to 3 years. Yeah, so I just turned on my mirror. Yeah. I hope I have all my makeup over here that I'll need for this look that I'm envisioning. I have a reference picture, but gonna try and tweak it, make it my own a little bit. So, starters, I'm the type of person who prefers to do my eyeshadow first and then work onto my face. And I think that's what I'm gonna do for this look. I don't have like a good setup for this. This is a very slightly scuffed setup. I literally pushed my gaming keyboard back and have this little tiny space to work with. But you know, make do with what we have. Maybe one day I can upgrade to a larger room where I can have a vanity and keep makeup over in the makeup section and gaming over in the gaming section. This is definitely a scuffed video, let me tell you. One of my favorite YouTubers is Bailey Sarian, and her videos are so flawless, I feel like, and I'm over here like a potato, not knowing how to do things, and I'm like, I will go ahead and say, though, the products that I'll be using will be linked down in the description box. So, let's get started. One thing I like to do, and for a Minotaur look, it's gonna be a lot of, like, browns, bronzy, golds, things like that. That's kind of what I'm channeling. And also, reference picture, I don't know where it's gonna go in this video yet. Here's the album that I'm going to be referencing, and that's, I think, a good segue into how I discovered my name. So, if you're not familiar with the album that just appeared on the screen, that is Labyrinth, and it's from a band called Fleshgod Apocalypse. So, Fleshgod Apocalypse is I call them theatrical metal. Technically, they're more like some, not really symphonic, I guess theatrical death metal from Italy. I have been so obsessed with this band for a very long time. The first song I ever heard from them was called Minotaur Wrath of Poseidon off of their album Labyrinth. And so earlier I had mentioned, in my labyrinth of sorts, I've really played upon Minotaur, labyrinths, mythological creatures, things of that nature. I also mentioned earlier that I have been streaming consistently on Twitch for about 4 years. But technically, I started streaming in 2016. And I was under the name You're Killing Me Smalls, because one of my favorite movies ever is The Sandlot. And I didn't have a gamer tag at that time, really. I mean, I did, but I used my real name. It was on PlayStation. Didn't change my name for a while. That was a whole ordeal. I quickly learned that not use a real name as a woman in gaming with your gamer tag. If you're not, like, going into content creation or anything like that. I didn't have a gamer tag, really, and I didn't know what to do for my name, so I came up with You're Killing Me Smalls. And then I got a second job. I was working full time, and I got a second job at a music venue, and that ate up my nights. I would go to my full time job, and then I was at the venue doing marketing and at night, and I was there for like so many shows, and that really took up the bulk of my life, which didn't really allow time for Twitch streaming. So I was working for the music venue for about 3.5 years, and then COVID hit, and there just wasn't any shows to market anymore, so I lost that job, and that opened up an opportunity to return back to Twitch. So, quick side note, I think for this look, I'm going to be using a lot of my Bailey Sarian Melt Cosmetics products because it has a lot of that grungy, dark, earthy tones that is really perfect for a Minotaur look. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. There is another palette I will probably also be incorporating. I've been absolutely obsessed with this palette. It's upside down. The Smoke and Roses palette from ColourPop. It just has so many beautiful peaches, rosy, brown, bronzy colors, and I'm a sucker for shimmery eyeshadows. So, like, that's practically this whole palette. So I'll probably be utilizing some shades from this palette as well. Anyways, so what was I saying? I'm telling y'all, I'll eventually figure out some sort of routine for these videos, but we're experimenting this video. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for continuing to watch. I had the opportunity to return back to Twitch, and around that time, like around the time COVID kind of started, I had gotten into a friend group that had some Twitch streamers as well. And they kind of also encouraged me to return back to streaming, which was great because during COVID, like, it was so freaking hard to connect with people because we couldn't go outside. We couldn't leave our houses. And at that time, I was living by myself. It was just me and my 2 cats. And what the hell else am I going to do with my time? I'm working from home at that point with my full-time job, and I needed to connect with people. So, I returned to streaming. But I felt like I shouldn't be using You're Killing Me Smalls. I didn't run into any sort of copyright issues, and it sounded more like a Twitch chat username versus a streamer name, and something I could really turn into a brand. And so I was sitting there, kind of thinking like, dang, well, what can I do for a name? And I was very, very big into Fleshgod Apocalypse at that time. Still am. That has never changed. Still very much am. But I was very, very big into them. And I was like, my favorite mythological creature has always been the Minotaur. There's just something about them that has always intrigued me and equally terrified me. my first time ever seeing a Minotaur was in the movie The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I loved how they were depicted in the movie. They were so terrifying, and like menacing, but I couldn't take my eyes off of them. And I was like, whoa, these creatures look heckin' cool. And so, thinking back onto that, I figured, okay, well, Fleshgod, the first song I ever listened to by them was Minotaur, Wrath of Poseidon. So I did more thinking and I was like, you know what? I think I can build on this. I think I can create like my own world with this. And I did. So I call my community members Mythicals, and whenever you follow me on Twitch and I'm live, I like to ask what your favorite mythological creature is, and it's kind of like an icebreaker. I don't expect everyone to have an answer, but just kind of get the conversation going a little bit. But also that reasoning being that I feel like mythological creatures are all so unique and so, like, they have their strengths and their weaknesses, and they're so beautiful, and no one creature is the same. And what does that sound like to you? People. We're all so unique and beautiful, and we all have our own strengths and our own weaknesses, and no one person is the same. And I really liked that idea, so I was like, okay. So now I have Minotaur, and I have what I'm going to call my community, Mythicals. And then I was like, well, where can we all reside? I was like, okay, well, let's play off of Fleshgod's album Labyrinth. So I started saying my, labyrinth of sorts. I wasn't very confident in the definition of labyrinth at that time. Come for me, whatever. I mean, I'm typically a pretty book smart person, but I was not confident in the word labyrinth, and I didn't really know how, like, if I was using it correctly in a sentence kind of thing. And so when I started streaming, I'd be like, welcome to my labyrinth of sorts. And then that just kind of stuck. And so now I just call it my labyrinth of sorts. And so, so that's where that came from. But I didn't want to be called just Minotaur. I'm using the wrong brush. Not the brush I wanted to use. Where is the brush? There it is. Okay. First of all, Minotaur itself as a name was already taken on Twitch and social media. And so there's that. Also, the word Minotaur sounds very, very masculine. And I can be tomboyish, but I definitely love my girly thing. And I wanted a cutesy kind of name, so I added IES to it. And I came up with Minotauries. Minotauries. I say it so fast. Look, y'all, I'm from Texas. We run our words together, okay? So, I say Minotauries, but technically it'd be Minotaur. And so that's how I came up with my name. It was inspired by one of my favorite bands, Fleshgod Apocalypse. And the album Labyrinth I love that album so much. And then from there, my love for Fleshgod, like, just continued to grow and stuff over the years. So, that's how I came up with my Twitch name. And, yeah. So really quick here, I usually end up ditching my eyeshadow brushes and just start going in with my finger. So that's what I'm doing. But also, with the Minotaur look, it doesn't need to be super pretty, because we're a freaking Minotaur, right? So I'm just kind of going with my finger, blending it in. There is a little bit of formula to this, where I did a lighter brown, and then we're going in with a more rosy, darker red, like a dark red with brown undertones. We're doing that in the center of my eyelid. Okay, so a little bit about me. So you just learned about my Twitch name, and how Fleshgod has a huge impact in my life. I guess I do have some, like, cool stories with Fleshgod. I saw them live. I've seen them live a few times. The first time seeing them live was really heckin' cool. I had tweeted out one day, and this is not the first time this has happened to me. This has happened like to me 2 or 3 other times where I tweeted out how I wanted bands to tour together, and then like a month later they announced the tour. So, this was, yeah, this was before I was working for the music venue, I think. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it was. I've done various jobs in the music industry, by the way, which I'll get into that in a little bit. Um, but yeah, this is before I worked for the music venue. So I had tweeted out one day, I was listening to Epica, and I was like, you know what a cool tour would be? If Fleshgod and Epica were together. And lo and behold, it was like, I don't know, like a couple weeks later. It was real quick. Real quick. They announced a tour together. And that was my first time ever seeing both bands, actually. My first time seeing Epica and Fleshgod. I was very, very excited. I've seen Fleshgod 3 times? 2 or 3 times. Don't actually remember. I used to keep track of these things. But my second time seeing them, I was working for the music venue at that time, and they happened to play at my music venue. Very, very excited about that. That was one of the greatest moments of my life. And, I feel really bad because I didn't do this on purpose. But towards the end of the set, so I was like right by the barricade, but there was one guy in front of me, and it was the photographer. There was a guy photographing the show on behalf of the venue. And he had really, really long hair. And we were all so sweaty. And if you've been to a metal show and you've been super sweaty, you know that feeling of other people with really long hair just sticking to your body because you're so sweaty and their hair is sweaty, and it's just, ugh, God, it's like, like the one thing I don't like about metal shows. So his hair was like sticking to me. It was so gross. He had like hair down to his waist. And I'm not saying his hair was gross. It felt gross to have hair stuck to me that was not my own hair, that was attached to my own body. You know, and I was sweaty and gross. Yeah, I think you get the idea. So his hair is sticking to me like crazy. So gross. I'm gonna take this dark brown, and we're gonna get a little messy with it. I'm gonna bring this dark brown kind of out past my eye with no rhyme or reason, no fancy shape to it, nothing. We're gonna bring it out and keep smudging it into my crease. So towards the end of Fleshgod's set, the drummer threw out a drumstick, and I went to like reach up to grab it, and along with that, in my sweaty ass arm, was a bunch of that man's hair. And when I grabbed the drumstick and pulled it back towards me, I accidentally ripped out multiple pieces of hair from the photographer. Oh, and he was pissed. And I don't blame him. I'd be upset too. I would be upset too. I didn't do it on purpose. Okay, we were all sweaty. There were so many people there. It was a really, really packed show. Did not do this on purpose. But he got really mad. He turned around. He was like, cussing me out. Blah, blah. I don't think he realized who I was. Like, I don't think he fully turned around and, like, registered that he actually knew me. Because, again, I was working for the music venue, and he was too. He knew who I was. But I don't think he fully turned around. I think he thought I was just some stranger. Regardless, though, I'd be pissed. Whether I know the person or not, I'd be pissed. You know? We're getting real messy. This dark brown. And I've just been using the Smoke and Roses palette, actually, this whole time. But I think I'm ready to bust out the Bailey Sarian Melt Cosmetics palette that I'm absolutely in love with. I don't want to blind you all, but like, look at all those shades. So pretty. A lot of earthy tones. Grungy, earthy tones. So anyways, I ended up catching the drumstick. And that's one of many drumsticks that I have. Actually, I don't have that many. But I do have a drumstick that's a wild story. But I'll save that story for another time. So if you're not familiar with Fleshgod, I know that I already told you guys that they are from Italy. One thing I really like about this band that has really stood out to me is, they have an opera singer and they have, an actual piano player, which I think is really cool. And so earlier I was like, yeah, they're like symphonic, but no, not really symphonic. No, they're not symphonic because they have a real piano player. Very cool to see him play, like going just freaking crazy alongside metal and stuff like that. You know how they say that like if classical like composers were around today, they'd be writing metal music? Yeah. When you watch this band, you would wholeheartedly agree. Okay. I feel like one eye looks a little bit better than the other, but the one eye that looks a little bit better than the other is a little more prettier than the other, which is not really what I'm trying to go for here. Okay. So I just took a like a darker greenish brown from the Melt Cosmetics. Is there a name? I used Mercury on my eyes. And I'm just like really dragging it out. Going for a very dramatic look. Minotaurs are very dramatic creatures. And that being said, if you're new here and you decided to subscribe, and even if you didn't decide to subscribe to my channel, but you still just want to comment and you liked the video, let me know down below in the comments what your favorite mythological creature is. I am curious to know. And although Minotaurs are my favorite mythological creature, there are 3 others that I also really like that are so close to that #1 spot. And I'm curious to know if you guys can guess what those 3 creatures are. I'll eventually say the answer. I'll probably pin it. I'll pin the answer, but I'll give y'all a moment to try and guess what it is. There was another time I was supposed to see Fleshgod. Actually, I remember this. I do. I was supposed to see them, I think it was like March 13th. No, March 23rd. I was supposed to see them March 23rd. 2020? The world shut down. I paid for VIP tickets too, because I got, like, now I can't talk. I paid for VIP tickets, which meant that I was going to get to meet the band and get, like, an exclusive t-shirt or, you know, all the stuffs. You know, just get all the stuffs. And then the pandemic hit, the world shut down, and I didn't get to go. And then they said that they would try to reschedule the tour, and as we all know, it was really hard for bands to reschedule tours because we ended up being shut down for like 3 freaking years. And I don't want to get too much into it, but I think a lot of us can all relate. During COVID, like, I guess pre-COVID, I was a very social person. But not being around people for so long made me extremely anxious. And I developed severe social anxiety. And it was not a fun time when the world opened back up. So the world opened back up, and I did a career change. Tried to start a new job. I moved cities. There was a lot happening. And that got really overwhelming really fast. And I kind of struggled transitioning into where I currently live and like transitioning into my new job. And how are you supposed to tell a new job that like, oh, yeah, I was, I got social anxiety. I can't do some of these tasks very well. Jobs aren't going to accept that. I'm going in with like just a bunch of different colors, to be totally honest. No rhyme or reason. They're all in the same family of different shades of brown. This is a 50 Shades of Brown kind of look. I have to add a little bit of shimmer because I love shimmer eyeshadow so much. Don't come for me, okay? I get that shimmer is not the most Minotaur kind of look. So anyways, Fleshgod did end up coming back on tour to the States, and they did come to Texas. And At this time, I'm actually, I guess you could say friends. I don't talk to her very often, but I know the opera singer of Fleshgod now, which is kind of a cool story. And I was supposed to like hang out with her, and I feel horrible because my social anxiety got the best of me, and I could not make it out to the show. I physically just got so sick the second I tried to step foot out of the house, which really upset me because Fleshgod is one of my all-time favorite bands. They're one of my favorite bands to see live, and I just couldn't bring myself to go. And I was really excited to hang out with Veronica. She is the opera singer of Fleshgod, and I can't believe it. I just, it frustrates me, but at the same time, I have recently overcome that social anxiety for the most part. It lingers, it resurfaces every now and then, but for the most part, I can leave the house now without feeling sick. I'm not very good with eyeliner, but I want to try and do like something kind of dramatic. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. Look, I'm not a professional when it comes to makeup. I just enjoy doing makeup. And that's one thing I like about this channel, and what I plan to do with this channel is that this channel, take a shot for every time I say this channel. Just kidding. Don't do that. In this channel, I want everyone to feel like, I'm not like this perfect influencer with the perfect makeup and all of that. Like, I'm just a girl who likes to do my makeup, whether it comes out great or not. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I hope that you can also relate with that. Maybe we could learn from each other. Okay. Now, the ultimate test. Trying to talk and do my eyeliner at the same time? We'll see. We'll see. I might actually... It's one of those things where, like, you know how the YouTubers are like, oh, I'm gonna do this offline, and I'll come back. Yeah. I might do that, but then, like, where's the fun? If I mess up, then you miss it. Okay. So, going in with my eyeliner. Really just dragging that across. I want it to take up, like, a big chunk of my eye. Have you guys been having this issue lately with NYX's Epic Ink Liner where, like, you buy it and it works so good at first, and then, like, after a month of using it, it starts, like, bleeding everywhere? Like, this happened with my previous Epic Ink Liner, and it's starting to happen again with this one. And this is a new thing for me. I don't know why it's doing that. Are y'all experiencing that? Do y'all have any idea? Oh, that's cool. Did like little black dots. See if I can replicate this. I'm back. So I just did the corners of my eyes, or like the inside parts of my eyes. That just took way too much concentration, and I just couldn't talk and do that at the same time. I don't know how these makeup YouTubers do this. Anyways, so one day I was streaming, something I used to do on my Twitch channel that I haven't done in a while. Kind of been taking a break from, but I used to do Twitch chat reacts, and we would react to different songs. I think they're definitely going to be sisters and not twins. So with the Twitch chat reacts, actually I used to do reaction videos, so just put it that way. And I put them up on my gaming channel, because at that time, I only had time to deal with one channel. I ended up reacting to a Fleshgod Apocalypse song, and it did pretty well. I was really shocked. It did pretty well for me. For me, it did really well. Maybe to others, it's crappy numbers, but whatever. For me, it did really well. And when you have a video that does well, you don't always know watching. I totally messed this up. I'm redoing that because this isn't even like messy. This is just bad. So like I said, you never know who's going to be watching. And I don't know where I'm streaming one day, and Veronica's name pops up in my chat, and I was like, oh my. And if she sees this, I'm sorry. Like, that, it absolutely made my day, okay? Like, allow me to fangirl just a little bit, because I've always thought you were one of the most talented women in the metal scene, and highly and extremely underrated. And I just want to show some love to my friend. Okay, so if she happens to see this, I hope this doesn't make her feel weird. But in the event that she doesn't, whatever. I'm just gonna keep talking. So, anyways, so I see her name pop up in chat, and my like jaw drops. I'm just like, oh my god, chat. Do y'all know who just said hi? Do y'all know? Do you? No, they didn't know. That's okay. They didn't know. It's okay. They know now, but it was Veronica from Fleshgod. And so she popped into my Twitch chat, and I was like, holy cow, look who it is. I'm gonna just kind of like brush away at some of the eyeliner. We're making it real dirty, you know? Because we're a Minotaur. We're a Minotaur. This is the look we're going for. So yeah, she popped into my chat, and I was like, dang, this is the coolest thing ever. And every now and then, she just pops in and says hi, added me on social media and stuff like that. And she's just been an absolute gem to know. Like, she's so incredibly nice, so incredibly beautiful, and so incredibly talented. And that is why you should go check out Fleshgod, because the entire band is like so incredibly talented. Now, although Minotaur is the song that like inspired my Twitch name and all of that and got me into the band, I have to say, I think Healing Through War is my favorite song. And the album King is like a fantastic album, start to finish. The album that comes after that also is really good too, though. But I think King is my favorite. But I like the album after, which is, the name is slipping my mind right now. But I do like it because you do hear more of Veronica's vocals, like operatic vocals, in their last album than they do like the previous one. If that makes any sense. So I don't know, but I really like King. Definitely, I don't know, just check out their whole discography. They're all really good. Now, their earlier stuff will not have operatic vocals. Veronica was not always in the band. She's relatively new to joining. I'm not gonna deal with fake lashes tonight. I'm not in the mood for that. It's been too long of a day. I'm not dealing with that. I'm gonna move into my face. I just recently started using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This stuff is like fantastic. It is a miracle worker. Love this thing. Definitely upholds in the Texas heat. If you've been to Texas in the summer, if you've experienced Texas in July, then you know how hot it gets here. Now there's a pink one and a blue one, and I recently tried the pink one. I don't know, all the like makeup people on TikTok really hype up the pink one. I'm not a fan of it. It's too sticky for my liking. So I like to use the blue one if you're looking for a new primer to try. Okay, so some other things about me. We don't have to keep talking about Fleshgod for this video. Well, if you can't tell, I'm a metalhead. Metal has been my go-to genre for almost like somewhere between 12 to 15 years. But before I discovered metal, I was a country girl. Hardcore. Like, I'm talking wearing the boots, the rhinestone jeans, the button-up shirts, whole 9 yards. Now, I mean, I live in Texas, so I think it's safe to say a lot of Texans do listen to country. But I really only listen to country because that's what my parents were listening to at the time. And, you know, I was in elementary, like, I'm not trying to, like, discover new music in elementary. I've been using the ColourPop foundation. What foundation should I try? Because lately I feel like ColourPop foundation just ain't doing it. So I grew up listening to country. The first CD I ever bought was Britney Spears' first album. I was really big into, like, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Aaron Carter. Rest in peace. And then I listened to a ton of country, and my parents were really big into, like, going to concerts and stuff, so, like, we'd go country western dancing as a kid, went to a lot of blues and jazz festivals as a kid, My first concert ever was no, sorry, not Blake Shelton. Brad Paisley. And that was a lot of fun. That was like right when his song Celebrity just came out. So you're probably wondering, how on earth did I go from country music to metal? Let me tell you, it was overnight. Literally overnight. So my sophomore year of high school, in my math class, I sat next to this skater kid who listened to metal. But he and I became pretty good friends. And he was like, "Hey, maybe you should try listening to metal. Just check it out. See if you like it." And so he recommended I listen to Slipknot, Trivium, and Bullet for My Valentine. So I went home that day. Went home from school that day. And popped onto a little website called LimeWire. I waited for my parents to go to sleep. Because I didn't want them to, I grew up in a very religious household. And I was terrified of them discovering that I was trying to listen to metal. Because I thought metal was satanic, okay? At that time, I thought it was satanic. Sure, some of it is, but most of it isn't. And so I was a little nervous about what they might think and stuff like that. So I waited for them to go to bed, popped into the home office, went onto the little home computer, and went to a little thing called LimeWire. I feel like I'm aging myself here. And that's how I discovered metal. I was listening to Slipknot, Trivium, with my Valentine. And I remember I put on Slipknot first, and I was like, whoa, I love this. I love this. What is this? This is satanic, but why do I like this? I know. I thought Slipknot was satanic. I thought it was like devil worshipping music. So normally with my contour, I kind of bring it up. I think I'm gonna drag it down a little bit on my face for this look. So that's how I got into metal. And there was a moment in time where I was like, if it's not metal, I'm not listening to it. And I was one of those people. I hate to admit it, but I was. But I eventually got out of that phase. It took a few years, but I eventually did. Now I just kind of enjoy all sorts of music. I've been really getting into K-pop lately, and I recently, a few years ago, I discovered Corpse Husband and became so obsessed with his music. Like, bad. Loved it, loved his music. Still do. But through him, I discovered a genre of music called funk, Phonk, and I've really been getting into funk music a lot. I'm gonna try something a little different that I've never done before. So, I have the little minis from Bailey Sarian's Melt Cosmetics line, or collab, or whatever you want to call it. Packaging. I'm gonna take the darker shade of the lipstick. Do a couple of dots here. And use this as my blush. We're basically gonna have some brown blush here. I was not expecting brown lipstick to do so well for blush. Add a little bit of a more bronzy highlighter. So taking an angled brush to do a nose. Trust the process, okay? Gonna fill it in. So some things I enjoy doing outside of makeup and music and stuff. I'm a cosplayer. Very, very big into gaming. I love being outdoors. Again, trust the process, okay? I accidentally got it somewhere I didn't mean to. I love being outdoors. I love fishing, hiking, camping, things like that. And then maybe we do get little freckles or something. Don't know why Minotaur would have freckles. But this Minotaur does. So the girl that I'm like kind of took a loose inspiration from, I actually really like how she did her lips. So she did like a darker color on top and a little bit of like a rosy pink. Okay, I shouldn't say rosy pink, but like a brownish pink on the bottom. My nose would be itchy right now. All right. I've never done just a top lip look before. Like trying to hold back from like rubbing my lips together is really hard. There, so I just went in with like a really neutral kind of peachy color. Not peachy, pinky color. Almost like a pink brown color. I've never done a Minotaur look before, believe it or not. I do a lot of makeup streams on my Twitch channel. I have never done a Minotaur look before. Okay. Spray my face. I feel like my nose came out really bad. Again, not a professional makeup person. Just a girl who enjoys having fun with makeup. Okay. So here's final makeup look. But add my Minotaur horns. And I kind of like how this turned out. Like it's scuffed. Don't get me wrong, it's scuffed. But I like this. This is a look. This is cute. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a scuffed Minotaur look. Grungy, dirty. You know, it didn't need to be perfect. It did not need to be perfect, but I kind of like this lip combination too. Like the darker brown with like the brown pinky color on the bottom. It's kind of a vibe. Anyways, well, that's a little bit about me and kind of what to expect with this channel. I don't intend for my videos to be this long. But I also really like long form content, so if you're one of those types of people, then maybe this is the channel for you. You can just vibe, hang out while I ramble on about makeup and my favorite bands and things like that. And through this, we'll get into some really crazy makeup looks, and I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. If you've stuck around for this long in the video, then I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And all my socials and everything will be linked down below, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye guys.